Hey, what's going on, Senpai? I'm Baus Phoenix, and welcome to another Let It Die video. So, I've been playing Let It Die for about 30 or so hours now. I've cleared the 20th floor boss, and I plan to have guides coming out for the 10th and 20th floor bosses here really soon, so stay tuned. Anyway, in my playtime so far, the cracks in the game are kinda starting to show, as I'm sure they are for you guys. So that's why in today's video, I wanted to start a discussion about a few of the ways I was thinking Let It Die could improve. So as always, leave your suggestions in the comments below, and maybe even the devs will stumble across this video. Anyway, let me start by saying that I'm enjoying this game immensely. I've been playing it like it's my full-time job for the past week and a half, and this video isn't meant to hate on Let It Die at all. It's actually quite the opposite. I see a lot of potential in this title, and I know it can be better. Now, that being said, I've played some grindy-ass games in my time. Warframe, Diablo 3, The Division, the list goes on, but Jesus Christ, man, Let It Die takes the cake. I've realized that after about the 10th floor or so, the grind in this game becomes a little on the extreme side. Now, I get that it's a free-to-play game, and most of those are pretty grindy, but not even the real money element in this game, which is called death medals, can really help to assuage the grind. Sure, you can revive with them and trade them in for kill coins, but that's really all you can do with your money, which is fine, don't get me wrong, the currency and cash shop in the game isn't the problem. So let's talk about one major thing that really is: raiding. Raiding in Let It Die is, as a whole, absolutely broken, and I've heard a lot of you in the comments on my Let It Die videos mention this as well. Currently, raiding is pretty much an easy way to gain a few thousand kill coins in less than a minute in most cases. The problem is, you're constantly being raided when you play and when you're offline. Now, for those of you that are newer to this game, raiding is Let It Die's asymmetrical PvP mechanic. You can raid another player's hub base and steal some of their money and spilithium, which is a resource used for upgrading things. If you're lucky enough, you also might be able to capture one of their fighters. The premise of this is actually pretty awesome. It's a fun little way to gain a bit of money and mess with other people in the process, but in its current state, it's ultimately a frustrating mechanic. Here's why. Every time you're successfully raided, which is basically every time you're raided period, you lose a significant chunk of kill coins and spilithium. You could farm coins all night, return to the game the next day, and find that more than half of them have been stolen. This is extremely demotivating to people that don't have a lot of time to play, because you could probably feel like you're always trying to hit a moving target. Now, I find that when I log in every day, I spend at least 3 hours of my playtime, maybe more, farming just for kill coins, and then even while I'm farming, I'll get raided several times in a row and pretty much lose most of the kill coins that I just farmed. But Baus, just upgrade your defenses, put more fighters out, get good, you might say. Well, I've been to bases with several level 75 characters in them, and I've still torn through it like butter, and I'm sure you have as well. So, like I said, it's frustrating to be in a constant state of grinding for kill coins instead of being able to explore, because you need an obscene amount of money to get through some floors. You have to ride the elevator, that costs a ton at higher levels, and just as an example, to get to floor 20 and beyond, it's almost 3,000 coins for a one-way trip. On top of that, you got gear that breaks and needs to be replaced every few floors, and if you die, you've got to get your fighter back, which is extremely expensive, and it should be. All of that is fine. It's a free-to-play game, it should be expected. I just hate feeling like I'm building a house on a foundation made of sand. We do all this farming just for someone to come in and easily steal what we've worked for. So, here's a few ways it could be fixed. Number 1. I feel like fighters should come at you all at once. Currently, when you raid a base, any fighters the defending player has stationed there come at you one at a time. A human-controlled character is almost always going to win one-on-one against an AI-controlled character. I feel like if your fighters were to attack all at once, you'd have a much better chance of defending during a raid. Number 2, I feel like you should only be raided if you're online. I know that sounds weird, but it kinda sucks to log in and lose everything you farmed for the previous play session. Now, if you think that sounds strange, think of games like Dark Souls where you can only get invaded if you're playing. I think it'd be a lot more fair if you actually had a chance to get revenge on a player right after they raid you, not after they've taken all your money, spent it, and are now broke to the point where it would cost you more money to raid them than you would make off of raiding them. As of now, those are pretty much my only two main suggestions. Let me know what you guys have to add in the comment section below. Moving on though, I wanted to touch on the next topic, which is character progression and leveling. Currently, fighters are grouped into tiers. You've got tier 1, 2, 3, and so on, with each tier being able to level 25 levels higher than the last. You unlock a new fighter tier about every 5 to 10 floors or so, and when you do unlock them, the fighter in the lower tier you spent time leveling is now pretty much useless because that new fighter is capable of leveling way higher than the last one. At first, this isn't a really big deal, but when you unlock tier 3 and above fighters, leveling becomes a massive chore. Not to mention that you've got limited fighter space in your freezer to store all these guys. This means that you now have to delete your lower level character that you put a bunch of time into. Now, that wouldn't be a problem if you actually got something for your efforts. Currently, when you delete a character, you'll get a tiny bit of spilithium from them, and that's pretty much negligible compared to the effort and resources that went into leveling them. Now, I know this sounds weird. Bouse, you're complaining about leveling in a free-to-play game. What the fuck is wrong with you? But bear with me here. There's a point to all this. The point is that I think it'd be great if there was some kind of experience transfer. Think about it. There are plenty of games where you can bank experience points to be used for later. Off the top of my head, Lords of the Fallen does this really well, and that's the game that comes to mind. Now, what made me think of this is when I was playing last night, I noticed that my max level character was still gaining XP, even though I can't use it for that character anymore. It just really seems like such a waste that I can't give it to another character to at least give them a head start. Now, you'd still have to level new characters, but at least they'd have a bit of a boost, and you wouldn't have to start at the first 10 floors all over again just to level them up to explore to the higher parts of the tower. Even better would be the ability to transfer XP from one character to another before it gets deleted, and it could even fit in the lore of the game. You know those weird little chairs with the dryer caps and hair salons that people sit under? Well, there could be like 2 of those in the corner in your waiting room that 2 fighters sit under, and they're all scary looking and shit, and the caps drop down on their heads, and it electrocutes the shit out of them, and bam, experience is transferred. Now, of course, this would cost kill coins or spilithium or some other resource, but I still think it'd be a fair trade for all the work you've put into a lower level character. Now, I know that this game is still really new, and dropping all this criticism is kind of harsh for something that hasn't been out that long. I also know that the devs really care about their game and they want to improve it, so hopefully we as a community can have a hand in that. Again, these are just a few ways that I think the game can improve. I know there's probably going to be a fair share of idiots in the comments of this video and all sorts of other dumb shit, but that's just YouTube for you. I just really like this game, and I feel like in its current state, it's going to drive away all but the most diehard players with tons of time on their hands, and I really don't want that to be the case, because this is a great title and it's worth playing. Now, if you guys have any other suggestions on improvements to Let It Die, leave them in the comments below. I'm super interested to hear what you guys think. That's going to be all for me today, though. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like down below and consider subscribing for more Let It Die content. Until next time, though, I'm Bouse Phoenix. I'll see you at the next video, and as always, thank you so much for watching.